All right, everyone, thanks for checking in. So as you can see, we have this awesome 2008 Honda TRX450ER here. This actually belongs to one of the employees right here at Rocky Mountain. We thought, you know what, let's do a cool little build on this and show some love to the ATV riders that are out there. Now the TRX, ever since it came out, it's probably been one of the most popular sport ATVs that's ever been in production. It got its start back in 2004, and then in 2006, they did some pretty big updates to the engine. With the 04 to 05 model, one of the biggest complaints was the power, or the lack thereof. It only had about 33 horsepower. So in 2006, they did two big things. They added an e-start model, and they still had the kickstart model as well, but they also did a lot to the engine. So they did a bigger bore and a shorter stroke, a more aggressive cam profile, and ultimately they added about 8 horsepower to the engine. Now, unfortunately, they stopped production of these in 2014, and if you are shopping for one, what I would recommend is 2006 or newer. That's just gonna make sure you get the better motor. Now, with this build, we wanna keep it pretty simple. We wanna wake up the motor a little bit, add a little bit more power, make it more exciting. But we also want to keep it very reliable. And then we just want to put on, some good parts and accessories to add more functionality and just really make this a really good all-around ATV. That's, one of the things that people love so much about the TRX is how universal it is. You can use it for trail riding, for desert rider, closed course racing. You go out to the dunes and rip around if you want to. So it's great all around. Also, very reliable engine. As long as you're doing your air filter, your oil changes, your routine maintenance, these things go forever. So let's jump right into it. We'll start with the engine, kind of talk about what we did to wake this thing up. So like I said earlier, in 2006, they added about 8 horsepower to the TRX, which, really helped it out, but we still feel like this quad could use a little bit more excitement, especially if you're gonna be out in the dunes doing some big hill climbs. You're gonna want as much power as you can get. So what we did is just the Cylinder Works Big Bore Kit. This is an excellent way to get more performance, more horsepower out of this ATV, but still maintaining reliability. And the great thing about the Big Bore Kit is just bolt on. It's gonna come with your cylinder, your pistons and rings, your gaskets. So, if times come for you to do a top end on yours, or maybe you're rebuilding one, or you're just looking to add more horsepower, that's a very reliable way to do it. And what it does really is it takes it up to about a 475cc engine. So on top of that, you got to remember, you're adding more performance with that bigger bore and the shorter stroke, but you also got to let these things breathe. And if you look at any stock airbox on the TRX, they are very closed off. You just have a snorkel to let the air come in. So what we did is we took that stock airbox lid off and we put the Protec MoFlow airbox lid on there. And when you look at that, it's a mesh screen on top. It allows a lot more airflow to come in, but also kind of acts as a pre-filter for your air filter inside as well. On top of that, once you're getting more airflow going through, you want to help this thing breathe with the exhaust, and so we put the Lexx slip-on muffler on there. Now with the Lexx, what's great, it's affordable, it looks good, but also we like the tunability aspect of it. With this build specifically, this rider likes to do, some trail riding on OHV trails, so it's got to be spark arrested. And so what's great about the Lexx Exhaust is there's a 46mm race tip, but you can also add in the quiet core spark arrestor, which comes included. You just have 3 bolts, you take them out, put the spark arrestor in there, and you're good to go. So you have a couple different options of how you want to run that Lexx Exhaust. And then from there, you got to remember with these carbureted bikes, they're kind of finicky, especially when you're doing any sort of modifications with the airbox and the engine. So what we did is the Dynojet Kit. And what's great about that kit is when you pick it up, they're machine specific, so just enter the make, model, and the year of your ATV when you're getting one. But it comes with instructions and all the jets that you're going to need, and it will tell you, it'll say, okay, this is a stage 2. And if you're at this elevation, you've done this modification, it'll tell you what jets to put in there. So it kind of takes away that guesswork. And it's really important. If you just go through and do all the mods that we talked about, but you don't rejet it, it's really not gonna run that good. So it's really important to do that when you are making those engine modifications. But once we did all that, we got this thing jetted and running good. Man, it really woke the engine up, and we really like the performance that we get out of it. So the next thing we wanted to do was just add some protection for both the rider as well as the ATV. So the first thing we did is we put some new Nerf Bars on here. So these are the Tusk Nerf Bars with heel guards. What's great about these, are a great price point. They're made from high quality aluminum, and they come with an oversized foot peg with a kick-up design, and they come with heel guards included. The stock heel guards on the TRX are just made from plastic. They're really not that strong. Now, when it comes to Nerf Bars, there's actually several purposes that come with these. A lot of people think they're just a bigger platform in case your feet slip off the foot peg, and yes, that's one of them, but there's some other really big benefits to a Nerf Bar. The first one is it's protection in a racing situation, and what they serve a purpose for is to prevent another ATV's wheel from getting in between your front and rear wheel, which is not a good thing, but also debris. If you're riding, you're doing some trail riding out in the desert, wherever it might be, that Nerf bar is going to help prevent debris and things from getting kicked up towards you, which, is going to add a lot of safety. And then lastly, with the heel guards, that's there just to help prevent you from your ankle possibly getting stuck between the foot peg and the rear tire. So Nerf bars, a great safety upgrade to put on your ATV. Now moving up to the front, we've got some great protection accessories for the ATV itself. We've got the Comp Series front bumper from Tusk. We've got the Ricochet skid plate as well as a swing arm guard. The swing arm guard and skid plate are really important to have on these. You know, ATVs, they don't have a ton of ground clearance, especially in the rear where you have your rear disc and your sprocket. So that swing arm guard will protect those. So to protect your ATV, it's really good to have those things on the bottom. Now also, to protect the rider as well, we've got some hand guards on here. These are the Power Mat hand guards, really popular hand guards for ATV riders. And then up at the top, you can see we've got ODI handlebars. We've got the ODI lock-on grips. One of my favorite grips, have a nice feel to them, nice and soft, but still have good durability. And another accessory that we have on here that's really nice to have is a Tusk tether kill switch. With ATVs, because you got 4 wheels, if you come off of it and you're on a hill, you know, these things can get away from you pretty easily. So with that tether kill switch, what happens if you come off the ATV, you'll actually pull that out with you and that will kill the engine automatically. Again, it's just to help prevent these from getting too far away from you if you do come off your 4-wheeler. Now moving on from there, as far as tires and wheels go, we've got some ITP aluminum wheels on here. Aluminum wheels are nice to have because they're a lot lighter than the stock steel wheels that will come on these. We've got ITP tires in the front as well as the rear, primary drive components with the chain and the sprocket, and we've also got those mounted up to the Tusk adjustable width racing axle. This is a really awesome, you know, replacement to your stock axle, and what's cool is that it allows you to customize the rear width of your machine. And a couple more things that help with aesthetics, we've got the Attack gripper seat cover on here, and we have a full custom graphics kit from Attack Graphics. And that's it. That is our build for this 2008 TRX450ER. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have one of these and you're looking to maybe do some upgrades or you're gonna rebuild yours, you know, these are really good ideas just to help you get the most out of your machine. Now get out there and have a good time. To pick up all the parts that we talked about today, you can click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Remember, all orders over $75 ship free, and to see everything that we carry for your machine, it's really simple. All you gotta do is enter the year, make, and model on the homepage, and that will show you all the parts that will have an exact fit for your machine. If you like this build, you want to see more great content just like it, make sure you get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and stay up to date. I'm Chase. We'll see you on the trails.